All right, so welcome to Storytime with Gena. I am Gena. Joining me this evening is Spangle Bear.
Worst introduction ever.
And to the right of Spangle Bear, we have Mr. Greg Lentz.
Hello, Gena. How are you?
Fucking phenomenal. How are you?
Good. You look phenomenal.
I know, you
Aw.
look foxy.
Thank you. Thank you, Meryl.
You look well rested. You look less paranoid. Tell us, from whence have you come?
I have come from all the places. I had so much
And on
fucking
who?
fun. That is a lady's prerogative.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, okay, so from whence I came this evening or from whence I came
Well,
ultimately?
considering that there's almost 100 listeners to the show
Almost 100. Fuck.
for whatever reason,
God bless you.
I think it's Greg. They
think it's
love the
Greg.
Greg.
I can't get enough Greg.
But they sometimes they message me and they go, "Hey, where's my story time with Gena?"
Aw.
And I'm like, "Hey, you didn't expect Gena to do a regular weekly show when she said she was going to do a regular weekly show, did you?" She's a free spirit, sir or madam.
Stop ruining her spirit.
That's right.
Seriously, she came back happy.
So why have you not? We did the cool episode where we got to talk to Blue, which I thought
Yes.
number 10 by far our best episode ever.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
I know. I want to talk to Blue again.
Blue is my boy. If I've got my keys around here, I'll show you my.
And talking to that mic for me.
Oh, sorry. I don't know. I'm a little paranoid now about my keys being gone. So when I got down there, the first thing Blue did was down there. Should we tell the people where I've been, Spangle Bear?
Yeah, New Orleans.
I went to New Orleans. So the last time I was in New Orleans, at the tail end of my trip, my truck got stolen. And the motherfuckers used the truck to knock off somebody's house, and the police were able to recover the truck when the home invasion went poorly. So I had to fly back down and pick up the truck. And when I got there and I saw Blue, the first thing he did was walk out and give me this gift right here. It's a very
Two brass
heavy
testicles.
Yeah. It's a very heavy keychain of a set of brass balls. So that's what hangs off my truck keys now. But yeah, no, I missed him down there, and I missed my boy JT, Dr. JT. So I got to.
What sort of
catch up.
doctor is JT?
JT is a veterinarian.
Mm-hmm.
He is actually he works with non-human primates.
Mm-hmm.
So he's
So like
he's like the Dr. House of the animal world. He's
Yeah.
kind of fucking brilliant, no joke.
if you've seen the remake of Planet of the Apes, he's the James Franco character.
I haven't seen it, but possibly.
Okay.
Like, he is all characters. He's also my best friend going back to like junior high. So
This isn't the guy that you took the road trip out to
Boston.
Boston with, was
no,
it?
that one
Okay.
I've known since elementary school.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
no. When
He
I make
was
friends, I make
the
friends for
hipster
life.
friend.
I'm just trying to
Yeah,
keep all the guys that
Steve is a little bit of a hipster. I'll give you that.
I'm just trying to keep track of the friend-zoned guys here. There's so many, it seems
Aw.
like.
Well, these guys are all gay.
Oh, okay. Well, then never
So,
mind.
At least one of them friend zoned me because I fell in
Yeah, I was
love
gonna
with
say, so
him.
she's friends.
Yeah.
She's friend-zoned. She's a fag hag.
Yeah.
Oh, ouch!
Teach me,
Generally, I
sensei.
hit people.
You want
I mean, I do okay. I got you guys every week, don't I?
That's true.
So,
Not sexually. I'm too perfect.
yeah, I know.
I will not give up my body.
You're my holy grail.
That's right. And
I
really,
think I could get somewhere
ladies.
with Greg, though.
You couldn't.
Yes.
Too loyal.
too
I am that friend zoned.
too impotent.
Too impotent. Yes.
So I stayed down, hoping that Karen would turn into something too. But speaking of impotent, holy shit, was she all talking whiskey dick? That was like nothing.
What happened? What did I miss?
It was supposed to be a hurricane, that tropical storm
oh,
Karen,
okay.
and it barely spit rain.
See, that was a thing.
Performance issues.
yeah.
That was a thing for you, but up here we didn't really know there was a hurricane.
Oh no, it was coming. I was like, "There's a hurricane coming!" And
You were all excited about
Yeah,
it.
I
She
sure
strapped
the fuck-
herself to a tree
they
and
have
ready to...
parties down there. They have hurricane parties. When your power goes out, the whole fucking quarter comes out and you party in the street.
So, Gena, on her way back from New Orleans.
Yes.
She was in New Orleans for a month on vacation. And
Yeah.
by the way, Gena's life is a vacation because,
Huh?
well, you're a full-time mother.
Yeah.
That's a job.
I defended you on the last We Are
I'm
Libertarians
so proud
podcast.
of you. I heard it, by the way. I
Thank
was so
you.
proud of you.
I stood up for you big time because
And-
I believe that is a better full-time job than about anyone I know what they do with their
And
lives.
on her way back from her vacation, she took a vacation.
I did.
You stopped in Memphis.
Yeah.
And I said, so what, are you going to stop in Brown County and take a third vacation off of your vacation? And you said, fucking leafers.
Yeah.
Which made me laugh uncontrollably. Because Brown County's where people go to look at leaves, and she's like, fucking leafers.
Oh, they're awful. Let's just
It was so like, I mean, I was like, you know what? I don't think I'm ever going to see Gena again. Like, I was really concerned, but then I just get a text that randomly, I fulfilled my life's destiny or something like that.
That's
and I'm like,
not at all what it said.
and I was like, what do you mean? She's like, I swam naked. And I usually am not one that doesn't have words readily available, and I just sat there speechless and I was like, I don't know what to say.
It was awesome.
Where did you swim naked at?
Okay, so we got to get to that part of the story. So I was down there for like a month this time, and I had Blue had offered a handful of times to watch the baby, and I had other things to do. But finally, it got to the night where it was like, I'm going out.
Right.
And so the most unlikely of all babysitters, Blue, swear to God, Blue sat with Dante all night. Me, JT, a friend of his, like, oh, this poor pitiful fellow. I'm not going to go into details on that guy, but he was
Friend
kind.
zoned.
No, oh, shit. Motherfucker would be lucky to be acquaintance zoned. It wasn't that bad. Okay. So anyway, me, JT, this guy, we go out. We go to this place called the Country Club, which I told you guys about.
Mm-hmm.
I did show up in my Wonder Woman bathing suit, and I did get a fan quickly.
Oh, I bet.
Right? So the fan was just stark naked and just proud of himself. He was the type of character that you could tell shaved his head every morning.
Not impotent, by the way.
Right, yeah.
He was hard immediately.
Yeah, he was exceptionally happy to see everyone. And it wasn't just me. I mean, he was happy to see everybody, but he was fond of me. So
He fondled you?
No, he was fond of me. So anyway, finally shook him a little, and once he was gone, and it was just me and JT over in the hot tub, which was like covered by these amazing like bushes and shit. It was just a magical moment when I had my mimosa in hand. I looked at JT and I was like, all right, it's time. I'm going to strip down. And he was like, do it. And he lives down there. And I was like, will you do it? And he was like, no. And he was like, but how often are you in New Orleans? And I was like, fact, how often am I in New Orleans? And I was just enough drunk.
Roughly every 3 to 4 weeks.
I was going to say, the first time, yeah, that holds up. But now it's a regular
this was my
occurrence.
first time out. And all the time I've spent down there, I've gone out one evening. So anyway, I got brave enough. I stripped down in this clothing optional establishment, and that's what I said. I said I went to a clothing optional establishment and I exercised my options because I did. I showed up with clothing and I ended up stripping down. So anyway, it's just me and Josh. We're back in the hot tub, and I go to get out to go get in the pool, and I can't find my bathing suit, which I had anticipated, right? So I turned to JT, and like a bitch, I was like, "You fucker, you hid my bathing suit." And he laughed and grinned, and he said, "Yeah, I threw it over there in those bushes." So I get out and walk over to those bushes, and he goes,
Indeed.
She walks very slowly while urinating. No shame.
So I walk over to the bushes, and he giggles and grabs my bathing suit where I left it because he actually hadn't. But because I was a bitch, I had it coming. So then he took it and actually took off with it, and I ended up...
You gave him the idea.
Right, exactly. And so then I was spending the rest of the evening in the pool, which is not nearly as secluded, naked, which was fun, but, oh, man, this guy. So I'm over in the pool, right, and there's this guy who's just, like, oozing douchebag. Like, he's a douche with hair. Other than the Chia Pet, there's nothing else that he's effective for. Like, he's completely worthless as a human being.
Like, so he looks like, which one of the Jersey Shore guys does he most resemble?
No, not even that. Like, this guy is more likely to be the unsub on, like, NCIS or CSI or something. Criminal Minds.
He's not even on Jersey Shore.
No,
he's
no,
on,
He's
like,
Rafi on the league.
He's, like, on Tough Love.
I
or
can't.
Tool Academy on VH1.
Yeah, Tool. I haven't seen these, but maybe.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to like, he may have at one time been eligible for, like, Twin Peaks, but he's past his prime, Spangle. That's what I'm telling you.
He's
Gotcha.
more like a Mortan Borat.
Right.
Okay.
So,
all right.
and I'm
gotcha.
assuming he must drive something fancy because he had a very high opinion of himself, and he had
He drove something fancy, like a 1987 Mazda Miata.
I have no idea. I didn't give two fucks, but something gave him the confidence that he felt he could treat people like objects, because he had this very pretty young lady that was...
Could it be that he was next to a nude woman?
Yes, he was, but it was the one that came with him. So he has his mail-order bride, which that's an assumption, and here's why I say that. She spoke very little English. She pretended to be very fond of him. She lays down on her back. She's floating on her back. This is how I met the man. We hadn't spoken up until this point. He's got his wife on her back. He leans over, licks a circle around her nipple while making eye contact with me.
Throw up.
Yeah, while making eye contact with me. Says, "Can you do that?" And I was like, "What, float?" "Yeah, I fucking mastered that. I've got that down." And he was like, "Yeah, but watch." And then he sends her off into the deep end. And he's like, "She hits the middle, she could drown. But if she goes up the other side, but she normally slopes up, she'll make it." And then he goes, "But you know what? She drowns, just get a new one."
Wow.
Yeah. So guess what Gena responds with?
What?
"That is so fucking charming." And I leaned in close. And I was like, "You don't know how charismatic you are. You keep that shit up. You're bound to get laid someday."
Wow.
So then we swam off to the other end of the pool.
You're like an animate wet towel.
Oh, my God.
That's like grosser than the guy who was like, "That's my shower."
Right. Yeah, no, I was like...
Oh, the one that peed on her feet?
Yeah.
In that thing?
Yeah. Oh, fun.
The one that defecated in the shower, said, "Come on in."
Yeah.
No,
guy.
that is just gross. Like, ugh.
Right, who does that? So anyway, my opinion of him
Greg.
as a human being is very, very low. Other than that, though,
And his name was Gianni
Yeah, I have no idea.
Separati.
Right?
Oh, he had to be like your Eastern European.
We did
sure.
not exchange names. No, he was
he
like...
hairy?
I did.
You looked.
I didn't.
Did you look at the twig and berries at least?
The eye contact that I received was enough of a peak for me.
He had
I
the
was
bush
good.
of a 40-year-old Serbian.
She grew a penis, and then the penis went back up inside her. She was so grossed out.
Yeah, that happened.
Prairie dogging it.
Yep. She was so disgusted.
So anyway, that guy was charming. We're close. I did learn, though, that they have a council of
Ooh.
BDSM
Ooh.
called the Noble Society. Are you guys aware of this?
No.
I would imagine that every city probably has that, though.
Oh, when I mean they, I mean those people, not like that
Oh,
city.
like, okay, not New Orleans.
Like
You're
they,
talking the
like-
royal they.
yes, exactly. Yeah.
All right.
So
the
they...
descendants of Napoleon.
Now, here's the thing that really, like...
Listen, nothing is better than a bureaucratic BDSM organization.
Right!
You know?
Okay, precisely. So here's my
Like
question.
the president's elected, I will whip this organization
Please
into shape.
just clear up exactly the tenets of BSD.
Okay.
Thank
ism.
you. Why must we clear up tenets? Like, why do we have to have a board and a council?
You
Like, there are council
BDSM
members.
bondage.
Okay.
What rules are you creating?
What does
And,
BDSM mean? I know bondage,
dominance,
dominance, sadomasochism.
There you are.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
Ah.
the BD,
yeah.
the S, and
There's
the
a
N.
council for that.
Yeah, and they make rules apparently, which you adhere to. I just.
Does the governor appoint?
But I guess
the
maybe
council?
that's part of it. You think the whole.
Is there a safe word on voting?
Fuck it.
They don't impeach them.
Okay,
they
so
just announce the
about
safe
that
word.
idea, I'm lukewarm, but banana.
Well, I mean, you are a libertarian. You're not fond of collectivism.
It's true. It's true.
Can
yeah.
we not gloss over the fact that Greg didn't know what BDSM was?
That was pretty awesome.
And I did. So-
How was youth group Wednesday night, Spangle?
Yes, it was good.
I mean, he was crucified with a crown of thorns.
No, now don't bring our Lord and Savior into this.
I'm just saying.
So,
I'm sure if it exists,
God-
there's porn of it. Rule of the internet.
or God will strike you down, and you will find it oddly pleasing.
Spaghetti monster or Zeus.
I
mean, it's your fantasy. You
Yeah.
tell me.
if we're gonna get into BDSM, I have a friend, and we've got to have her on the podcast.
Well, duh.
Oh, Melissa is writing a book. She is Miss Ann here in Indianapolis, and she ran a sex dungeon. Well, not a sex dungeon. That's unfair because there was no sex ever. It was just S&M. And she's very well known in the BDSM community. She may at one time have been the council president.
Oh, so she made the rules, which
right.
you adhere to.
She made the rules, and then she enforced the rules. But you would love her. Like this, you two would be the best friends of all time. And
Well done.
so she came into my office this past week because she's writing a book, and she was looking for What?
Gena does not have female friends. If you know Gena, you know
No,
that.
I'm telling you.
Doesn't matter.
This would be they would be besties. They
Nope.
would like ride tandem bicycles while
I'm telling you, no way.
playing
A woman like Gena does not have a best female friend
they
often.
would ride tandem bicycles, play the carpenters, come back and make pot brownies together. Now, she came into my office.
She can bake, I mean.
And she can. She's a great cook. And so she has something called the hippie porch at her house.
Exceptional. The stoop.
Right.
Yeah.
And so
Racist.
she came in, and
Entirely.
I found myself discussing FetLife with. So FetLife is a website, a fetish website that I know of because I hang out with libertarians.
Mm-hmm.
I do not have an account there, and so you go on this website and it's all about your kinks or whatever. And so, like, I'm just sitting in a business meeting looking at a fetish website with my boss. I'm like, well, this is how a Monday starts, I guess. It was hilarious.
When your job rocks, I guess.
Yeah, like, I have the best job ever. And I probably shouldn't have told that story, but nobody will care.
Is this the individual that loves Facebook?
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
Oh, yeah. No, it wasn't. Yeah.
He's still in that new exciting era of the internet where everything is at your fingertips.
Aw.
Yeah, like, I'm just sitting here like...
You know, I've
really?
never done internet porn, ever.
Really? You
Ever.
want it? You want to?
I've had some pop up as a virus, but...
I've got Oh, you've never been in porn. I was gonna say we have Vine and Instagram at our fingertips there, but no, you're saying you've never watched it on the internet?
I've never been like, internet, bring me porn. It's never been my thing.
I'm gonna say I mean obviously I've seen it multiple
Right.
times, but
Oh, yeah.
you're not missing a whole lot.
Yeah,
It's
I-
very bad.
That's
Yeah,
kinda what
you
I
just
figured.
find like one or two go-to videos.
Well, it's like if I want to see people have sex, I'll get a mirror. Just like,
Wow.
I'm not...
That's not true. I know it's not.
Yeah, I know.
Not true at all.
And by not true, Spangle means I don't get laid.
Right.
That would be a very lonely mirror.
Let us
Pet
give
it
you.
with me, stroke it.
Listen, just find a couple videos you like that really get you going. Download them and put them in the folder that says tax documents.
All right.
Just
so
like
is that
every
how it
other
works?
American.
Just like all the rest of
Samantha.
us.
Yeah, this folder here. If you
Yeah.
open
Samantha,
this,
how do I... Oh, okay. So this is a beautiful segue.
if you open this folder, it will destroy this computer. Largest folder name ever.
As a beautiful segue, apparently there is a porn that exists with my boy Blue as, of all things. In fact, if you find this and link it to me, you're my new hero,
No.
and I will send you a prize of some kind. We can sit and watch my first internet porn together, and
See-
it will be starring a friend of mine.
That right there tells you how little Gena knows about internet porn.
Well, it's probably not on
She
the
thinks
internet. Listen, it's an Alice in Wonderland porn from the 70s.
Oh, so it's like a legit porn. It's
Yeah,
not like an
like
amateur
bow,
porn.
chicka, bow, bow. Yeah, apparently.
There is production value.
Yeah,
There's a
exact- here's-
story,
It's
sir.
erotic
Here's the
art.
Here's the thing. I'm not supposed to know things. I know things because Blue uses my phone to make a lot of phone calls. So all of his contacts are in my phone. And his son dropped the bomb that he was in. Like, he was involved in some Canadian porn ring.
Oh, dear God.
Back in like the
my.
60s, 70s.
Oh,
So there's
Covered
some
in maple
amazing,
syrup.
Yes. There is some amazing
walked in
Alice
at
in
a
Wonderland porn out there where he is the Mad Hatter, and if anybody can produce that,
He walked in a hat made of bacon, of Canadian bacon.
Yeah.
yes,
He-
Canadian porn. I mean, it can't
It's
be
the
bad.
only version where the lion is a pig.
That's right.
There's no lion in Alice in Wonderland.
Whatever.
It's Chazar Cat.
Details.
I love
So,
you guys. I miss you.
I'm just saying, Canadian porn,
can't be bad.
it's got to be completely terrible.
Oh,
It's
no,
like-
I bet there's no BDSM in Canada. It's too friendly. There
Like
would
a-
be none of that stuff.
I'm really sorry about that, eh?
Eh.
I didn't mean to.
It's called their A shot.
Oh,
I'm
no.
gonna go ahead and
There,
guess
shut.
that like it had something to do with the legalities. Like it was easier to do out of Canada than it was out of the United States in that time.
So Blue has an A face, if you will.
I mean,
How are you
eh?
liking? How are you liking that, eh? Oh, it's great, eh? Spank me.
I don't know that
Sorry
I'd be
about
able to
this,
watch
eh?
it. To be honest, I just want to own it and laugh.
You do want to watch it.
I don't know. I don't know if I could, Spangle.
I saw the connection that you and Blue had.
Yeah.
I was watching you on the internet. I'm just saying, you and Blue, there was some magic there.
Yeah, there's magic, Spangle. It's
He
it's
may,
magic.
He may be
He might be my grandpa.
65. He's 65-year-old male who
It's
may
not
or
like
may,
there isn't precedent.
I mean,
may or may not have been in Heaven's Devils.
fact. All of Gena's boyfriends have always been at least half of her age older than her, with the exception of baby daddy, who's only 5 years older than me.
Okay, let me do the math on that. Okay, so like if
So if I was 16, he was 24. So if I was 12, he was 18.
man.
She was 25. He was 40.
All right, let's move on.
All right.
That's what's called a social security queen. Just waiting to milk the system.
Except that 24-year-olds don't have social
It's
security.
gonna be really
Yeah, but if you're
uncomfortable.
24,
It's gonna be
Right,
really
okay.
uncomfortable when she's 70.
I know.
Actually, I figure when I'm 70, I'll probably have been left alone by some amazing third husband, and I'll start looking for my Ashton Kutcher.
Hey, and I will put a picture of Blue up in the podcast, but let me play something.
World's best babysitter. Tell him I said so.
Let me put this in the
The
here.
only
Let me hit.
person with a 1 rating on sittercity.com.
Could you imagine Blue's babysitting service? Shit.
Won't rape.
Right.
Best skill.
Okay, well here, let me put the logic behind that. Here's what I know. Blue loves that baby. Blue loves that baby deeply, and he would never let harm come to that child. And to be honest with you, of all the people I know in that city, he's the only one I knew on an intimate enough level to trust with that type of responsibility.
Honestly, like talking to him, yeah, he may or may not have killed a guy,
a
but
guy.
the guy probably deserved it. He
Yeah,
has a
that
heart
one
of
guy.
gold. Like he really, like you could tell that when you're talking to Blue, he's the kind of guy who has an honor code and will
Yes,
live by it. Like
Absolutely.
He's
like-
Jack Sparrow.
right, like Maya scares the crap out of everybody.
Right.
But you know what?
Maya has an honor code.
Maya is the type of person that is not going to violate the NAP unless you hit her first. Like
Right.
I would trust my wife's life with Maya. That's how
Yeah.
much I think. And Blue is that type of person where
Yeah.
Maya and Blue, I'm just saying, may or may not have ever been seen together.
Right.
Might be the same person.
Might be.
Hey, I'm gonna play a little bit of audio here that
Please do.
you sent me. Now you guys won't hear this, but it sounds like it's here. Let me turn it up. Let the listeners get a taste. All right, so tell the people. Greg asked when we turned it down and handed him the headphones. Greg asked if that was Preservation Hall, but in New Orleans, there's something called first lines, and so if there's a wedding, a funeral, they'll get together and they'll kind of march, and it sounds like Preservation Hall jazz, essentially that early New Orleans jazz. And they'll do a first line where they'll march, and so Gena whipped out her phone and recorded that for us. What was the circumstance? You sighed and rolled your eyes and were like, I'm transported back to a lovely time. Tell us about that memory.
It was probably 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. I was walking through I was down on Bourbon Street with the baby, and somebody had gotten married. And
You
so
took a baby to Bourbon Street,
I
and
didn't
you
drink.
glossed over it.
Yeah, well, I mean, we walked. If you walked to the river, which we did regularly, you had to walk down Bourbon Street and turn left at Governor Nichols. So, I mean, it's a street. Yeah, there's a lot of shit happening, but it's a street.
Yeah, it's just like
He
bar, strip club, bar, strip club.
He can't see. He won't be scarred for life.
He can see, but, I mean, what's he seeing? Drunk people? Fuck.
Yeah.
And a first line. I mean, that's...
Awesome.
To be honest with you, the baby loved it, because when the baby would get up at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning and demand things that babies do, we could go out to Frenchman and he could see shit, and that excited him more than you could possibly imagine. But that particular evening, it was late at night. Yeah, it was probably about 10 o'clock. It was dark, and I turned around a corner, and there was the first line going, and it was a guy and a girl, and they were marching, and their family was behind them. And Spangle asked if people were dancing, and I was like, actually, no.
White people.
Right, they were totally white people. Like, you could tell that it was not as culturally consistent as it could have been for a lot of the people. They looked a little awkward, but bless their hearts, I think they were Yankees.
So it would be like if there were a bunch of me's on Bourbon Street.
Right.
Yeah.
Or your mother, honestly, because the couple was young, but everyone in attendance was probably 65, 70. So you could tell somebody was impressing their coworkers with. That sounds terrible.
The authentic New Orleans experience.
Yeah.
It's because Bourbon Street.
A bunch of white people playing jazz.
Go watch
people are
Treme.
weird,
That's
man.
New Orleans.
Yeah.
Honestly, somebody described jazz music the other day. A bunch of old black stoners high on heroin tooting their horns.
Nice.
I was like, what? That's not an accurate definition of jazz.
It's close, though.
Yeah, it kind of is, but...
Yeah.
It's art without restriction.
But when you get to the ladies of jazz, you keep the heroin and add the heartbreak.
That's right.
Yeah.
Ella Fitzgerald.
Oh
my God.
Well, Etta James.
Oh, Etta James.
Nina Simone.
Nina Simone can cry. Ooh, girl. Yeah.
Sorry.
But I remember loving that song. So when we got there, I came around the corner, I heard the band first, and I was like, hey, baby. And get around the corner, and there's this, like,
I think we might start a wall record label with Gena. That was pretty good.
Thanks. So somebody's grandma was looking at me like a deer in headlights, like she was supposed to be bobbling, and I was like, aw. So I had the baby, and we wiggled and danced, and I had a great time in New Orleans, you guys. I ended up, one night, I took my tap shoes down to the river. They had this little wooden platform that was there for a functional purpose that I did not give a fuck about, and I tap danced on the river, waiting on the hurricane to come in.
See, this is why
raving mad.
This is why I need story time with Gena in my life.
Aw.
I don't think there is one circumstance on planet Earth where I would grab tap shoes and go dance by a river while waiting for a hurricane.
Yeah.
I need to live vicariously through Gena Martinez.
It was time.
Awesome.
I needed to dust off my tap shoes and go do something. I found some incredible art. There's a
Hold on. Did you dust off your tap shoes?
I did.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
Were there any special men while you were down there?
I met a guy. I might have met a couple people. Yeah.
Are you going to write each other letters?
Literally, yes, because he gave me his number. I have not dialed it. I won't do it. I won't put it in my phone. We're just not exchanged. He thinks I'm the strangest thing ever. He must. I was like, I own a phone, but I'm not putting you in it. So.
Do you want to use my phone?
No.
I will catfish him.
I want to keep it just the way it is.
Like,
I'm down with. He thinks that I'm some old-fashioned whatever relic who's gonna write him letters and
from Southern Indiana.
Yeah.
Samantha looks at my phone. Why are
Right.
you sexting with a guy?
Right.
I'm just helping out a friend.
Hey, don't judge. No, I just nothing serious. It can't be anything serious. Craig, you can feel me on that. It's where it is. But
Oh, I am distance. I'm very serious. It's just distance.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Sorry. Well, I'm not very serious,
I
and there's
know.
distance, so.
No, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, but
Me
it's
too.
nice to be held.
I
you
like
know?
at least a
I'm
one-room
girl.
distance
I'm a
between me.
lady.
Me and my opponent must hold a one-room distance at all times.
Are we allowed to talk about at all what we talked about in chat today, or is that off the limits? Your life being like Vietnam?
My life is like Vietnam. My wife comes in with a lot of force, overplays her hand. I just hang out in the woods and fire strategic shots.
It's not
Nice.
about winning; it's about prevention,
Nice.
outlasting. So you met a guy, and he lives in New Orleans, and I'm going to go ahead and place a wager that this is a relationship that will be very important to you in about 6 months.
Yeah?
Mhm.
Well, I am going back down in February, so
Yeah.
we'll see.
Especially with my skills at sexting.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's true. You're in great hands.
That's exceptional.
Lots
My-
of John Candy-esque selfies.
What is on
Yeah.
your bag? Because my cat is molesting it right now. She is rubbing all over your
The
purse.
marijuana.
That might be what it is.
Well,
She
this-
smells the catnip.
I was like, that's an anime character named Kirara. I don't know. I don't know what that kitty's doing. But there was another kitty near the bag that could have been it. So,
That's what we'll go with.
yeah, that's what it is.
We better leave that there.
that right there.
On multiple levels.
No.
Hey, Gena, tell me another story about your trip.
About my trip.
Mhm.
Describe your most fun night.
So the night I went out was probably the most fun.
Yeah? Where all
So
you go?
We went to the country club, and then we went to Oz, which is a gay club down on Bourbon Street.
Mhm.
And I was dancing like a mad woman, having so much fun. And then that fucking guy, the aforementioned fucking guy.
That
just
sweaty, hairy man with the mail order bride.
No, not that guy. That guy we left behind. But the one that was joining us in our
The sad sack.
Well, yeah.
Can we call him the sad sack?
I would rather not. He has a name, but I'm not calling him by
That's
that.
why we'd want to call him the
Right.
sad sack.
But he wasn't a sad sack, so he had been dumped recently. He'd been with this lady for 9 years. She dumped him.
He was the token sympathy guy.
He was trying very hard to regain his confidence. So the first part of the evening,
Oh
we
my
spent.
God! And they let him go out with you?
Seriously. So the first part of the evening, he was like, "I just don't know how to say hello to girls," and it was like, "Walk up and say hello."
That's
My
like
name is-
riding a bull at 8 Second Saloon and then saying, you know what, you're ready for the full deal. Let's put you on a bull right now.
It's like being quadriplegic and trying to climb Everest.
I guess. So anyway, he was off like flirting with other people at this country club. Like he was doing his thing. At the country club, he was doing well. But then when we left and went to Oz, I was the only straight girl in the club, and I was dancing, and apparently it was too much for him. He took it as a sign of foreplay. He hopped up. He started, like, he was all over me. He wouldn't let me, like, I couldn't move without touching him, and it was starting to gripe my ass so much that I was getting angry. And he would be like, if you're down for, like, some no-strings-attached sex, we'll just go have some wild, crazy sex
God.
right now, right?
Can't believe he's
Oh,
saying
so
And
he
it was
wasn't
several-
a sad sack, he
Hold
was
on.
a douchebag.
Well, no. It's Vegas rules. I shouldn't even be telling this story
okay.
because it's Vegas rules.
We don't know him. We'll never meet him.
I
You're
know
in the-
it's
you're-
random
you're
guy,
good.
but like 4 bourbons in, he was like, and then I was trying to give him all the explanations for why that would not be a good idea, and he was pretending he couldn't hear me because of the music. So finally, I put him in a fucking headlock, like literally had him over my shoulder in a fucking headlock, and I'm growling at him. I was a dance teacher. I'm here to dance. If you do not move, you will get hurt. I fucking promise you.
You stone cold stunned
Fucking
a rebound
head
sympathy
lock.
token guy on
No,
Bourbon
okay.
Street at a gay club.
Here, though.
Can you imagine that emasculation? He's
Here,
at a gay
though.
bar on Bourbon Street, dancing with the only single there, who
But
he has a
here-
relationship with, and you hit him with a WWE move.
No, listen.
Wow.
It was like here's a kind reason why this is a bad idea. I
While
can't hear
you had him
what?
in a headlock.
Yeah.
No. This
Okay,
was
all right, I got
this
you.
was 47 minutes of him grinding on me.
Oh, okay.
And me trying to walk away, me politely stepping aside, me saying, "Hey, once you go find that girl looks pretty, go introduce yourself to her." And
Right.
and him saying, "I don't even want to stick it in, man. Just ride my face for 40 minutes."
Oh,
And-
my
yeah,
God.
like it was that bad. So to the extent that
No, push him
here's-
in traffic.
like, right.
Really, seriously, being a female sounds horrible.
Oh, yeah.
To the
Like-
extent that you're at a gay club because you want to avoid that, and then the one motherfucker there who is straight finds you and clings to you and won't let you go, and you can't dance, you can't move, you're about to fall off the platform because you're standing on a stage. He's like, "Just sit on my face, man. Just sit on my face. It'll be wild." And for reasons you can't, reasons you can't possibly understand. I just want to satisfy you. And it's, hey,
Oh my
Gena
God.
hasn't had it in a while, so I'm not saying I didn't think about it for about a second and a half before saying, "Well, no."
I'll go find the knob on a door.
Ah,
Blue,
kinda.
blue before you.
Yeah.
My wife, by the way,
shit.
my wife was in the restroom. My wife came out of the restroom and heard sit on my face," and looked over and just didn't even blink an eye. She just knew that
Oh,
this
Gena's
was
here.
this is Gena's story time with Gena, so she just went back in the bedroom.
We love you, Samantha.
By the way, honey, I've got something to tell you after the show.
By the way, not the first time I've had that offer. Just sit on my face.
See, that's the thing that I totally get why women are just totally like, no, stop it right now, very mean and
Right.
upfront.
But I wasn't,
They should
though.
be.
I totally
think that's
get
the
it.
problem is you by being nice, you fed the fire.
I was polite,
Never
but
be
but
polite.
cold.
Yep.
Never be polite. But like, look
Well, eventually, like I'm saying, it got to the point where he was obviously 4 bourbons past happy and not getting the point, so I had to put him in a fucking headlock. And he's still, after the headlock, this is no shit, you guys, he was still clinging to the idea that this was a sure thing. Here's what happened.
you were nice to him.
But I'm in a headlock, growling in his fucking ear. It was like this.
I like when you play rough.
You just
Right.
said that you might or might not have been in the BDSM club governance board of New Orleans.
I did
Like,
not
I
say
would've-
that. I said I found out it existed.
Here's what you do: first time you meet
Hate
him,
you guys.
no.
I'm gonna
And
make a
just
meme.
point, no.
I'm
That's
gonna
what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk around saying no.
Yes.
I'm gonna make a
again,
meme.
Gena wants to be held. I just need to know whether or not you're a douchebag.
I'm gonna make a meme of Gena putting someone in a headlock, and it's just gonna say, "You came into the wrong neighborhood, motherfucker."
Motherfucker.
Like, seriously, this podcast makes me have a whole new appreciation for what women go through. Like, you know,
They're hunted all the time.
women have come so far; they've earned so much. Like, I might be a feminist because of this podcast now. It sounds horrible being a woman. Like, you're constantly like nobody. this is a phenomenon I cannot relate to. I'm nobody looks at me and says, can you imagine doing sex with that? Like, nobody looks at me.
I do.
Well, I'm just saying, like, nobody.
Certain sycophants in the Libertarian Party when you were executive director.
I think Greg's got a fact right there.
They're little Lewinsky-ites.
There
that
may be
goes
a few
on.
bear hunters. But I'm just saying, like...
They didn't even know you was a bear until I told them.
It sounds miserable. You're just constantly groped and touched on, and people are licking
Blame
nipples
God.
at you. Like, literally nobody has ever looked me in the eye while licking a nipple. Not once. Not ever.
I didn't even tell you how the guy finally went away. The headlock did not do it.
Are you kidding me?
I'm dead goddamn serious. The headlock did not do it.
That was just
What
flirt.
on earth did you do?
So JT had found himself a pretty little Brazilian boy, and they were dancing and enjoying themselves. And the Brazilian boy really thought it was going to be more than it was, but JT wasn't looking for that. And the Brazilian boy had just a phenomenal, and I'm going to use a slur here, but it's a descriptive slur. And ladies, you'll appreciate this. Just a phenomenal bull dyke friend with him, and she was my height, your size.
Really?
Yes, she had like the mullet, like a
You
real
said bull dyke.
bull dyke.
And
Is that like a
phenomenal.
bull shark?
No, it's
You don't
like.
know
Do you
what
know what a
bull dyke
daddy
is?
bear
No.
is? Okay.
Sorry, I am.
These are
I
real
live in a
terms.
world that
Do
doesn't
you know what a
experience
twink?
these things.
Okay, so there's a twink, a fairy, and a daddy bear, right?
There's twink and fair. I know those terms. I
Okay.
don't know the differentiations.
All right, they're very close, but these are different realms of the gay sexuality. Yes, you got your twink and
I
fairy.
guess.
Let's call them the liberal left.
The otter.
And then you've got your otter bears. And your leather daddies. We'll call them the hard right.
I worked with Evan McMahon for 2 years. I know these
Okay.
terms.
So you know Scottish,
so then you've got your
Irish-
lipstick liberal lesbians,
Okay.
and then to the far right of that, you have your hardcore bull dykes.
So these
She
are
was one
like
of those.
truly when Rush Limbaugh says feminazis, that's who these women are.
No, like bull dyke.
I don't think bull dyke even this particular individual may or may
Have
not
you
have been.
ever-
So
feminist.
they're like Reagan voters that are angry militant lesbians.
More like truck drivers.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Beach Grove inhabitants.
Yeah.
These are
Yeah.
the ones that use the bandages on their chest to look more mannish.
Oh, they're
They're
flatteners.
still lesbians.
I like to call them flat earthers.
But okay, yeah,
Yeah.
all right, flat earthers.
yeah.
So, anyway, very kind flat earther comes up to me, and she's being an exceptional wingman, and she whispers in my ear. She said, "I told my friend I knew you weren't into girls, but you'd let me dance with you just to get that douchebag off your leg." And so I kind of giggled, and then she grabs me, and like she took the lead. And lady's a very fine dancer, so I danced with this lady long enough for Sad Sack to get to leave, and then Josh or JT, I keep forgetting. Fuck. Sorry, I'm so sorry. So JT and I are leaving, and he's saying goodbye to the Brazilian, and I'm being called a cock blocker by the bull dyke, who thinks that I'm the reason that he's not getting laid when JT and I had already discussed it. And so we're leaving, and JT's phone goes off, and it's Sad Sack, and he's like, "Tell your friend she messed the best face she ever could have gotten."
Is that what it's called?
I think he called it head, but it's called face. I'm doing him a favor. And anyway,
We're learning so much, Greg.
yeah,
Oh
it's
my
education.
God.
Welcome to story time. So,
This would have been so much better.
I'm
if they'd-
really mad that a male did this.
okay, so yeah, and you know what? I looked at him and I looked at my friend and
I wish
said,
Mr. Pelkey had taught me this in 7th grade during sex ed.
If Mr. Pelkey knew that his name was mentioned on this podcast, he
"Somebody
would
should
be.
tell him."
Oh no!
I'm guessing
Oh, you don't know Mr. Pelkey.
Oh, he should know.
Oh no!
I want to email. I want to
He
find
belongs
an email.
to a branch of Christianity I like to refer to
I
as
would
cultish.
so advertise him.
He was actually no. My sex ed teacher in high school, her first name was Gay.
Yep.
So
Aw.
Yeah.
she's a sweet lady, though. I like her.
So,
Just saying.
so yeah,
So this guy
Yeah,
thought
this
he had
guy.
a chance, grinded on you in a gay club.
and totally my loss. Let's be
No,
clear.
totally not.
my loss.
It would have
This
been-
is what I talk about when I talk about the feminization of men.
Mm-hmm.
Sinatra, John Wayne never would have done that.
Fuck
to
no, they
Gena.
wouldn't have.
They would have stood there very callously, very coldly, given her a look. At best, she might have gotten the hint.
I
of
would
a
so
smirk.
drop my panties.
See? Instead, we get these fake males, pseudo males,
Right.
that are of the hipster generation that are in touch with their feelings and they lay everything out there. And you
Yep.
got the best face, head,
See, I don't know, man.
nose. I don't know of your life. I mean, what? We need. You know what?
First, show me
I
your nose
support
wiggle.
masculine re-education camps.
I'm just saying, guys. Let's do a little re-education here on Storytime with Gena. Guys, I'm not a female, but I think as a guy, if a girl walked up to you and she told you exactly what she was going to do to you sexually, you'd find that attractive. It doesn't go the other way.
It could not go more of the opposite.
Does that really work that way? I'm curious.
Yeah.
So, like,
no, not.
I think
if
you're
you
really
wanna
cute.
date
I'd
him
like
or something
to
like that.
wrap. Oh, okay. So
if you want a means to an end, sure thing.
No, like the
Ball
time
game.
where Gena said.
Oh, interesting.
Gena used the term, make sure that she squeezes out every drop.
Oh, yeah.
That would work. I'm just saying, like if you had liked this guy and he hadn't talked about face, that would have worked, that phrase.
Oh.
But if he said that to you, not happening.
No.
If I liked him, it might.
No.
You can't even.
Listen, there has to be like
if Clooney says that to you,
Right.
yeah.
Dropping my panties.
It
Not the
doesn't-
guy that just got broke up with, who's clearly not desired.
I'm just saying,
Well,
even
yeah, okay.
Clooney,
Yeah, there was
even
no
Clooney needs a
attraction.
couple dates, maybe a text message or 3 to get introduced before he can drop the.
He's Danny Ocean.
I don't know. I'm different. I'm on Spanglebear's team.
I'm
Like
just saying-
the fact that I met that guy that night pretty much meant it wasn't even an option.
Admit it slightly tainted your view that he had been broken up with and was probably so devastated his friend had to drag him.
I thought it had been longer. Like I thought he'd been broken up for a while. I found out afterwards that it was a recent thing when my friend was trying to like Vegas rules. So he was dealing with this, and this. So it's not even like I knew. There was no chemistry. I wasn't 100% he wasn't gay because, generally when a guy comes along, he is. I kind of felt like JT may have been trying to hook us up because he knows what situation we're both in. And bless his heart if that's what he was doing. But
And by bless your heart, you mean go
fuck yourself. So
that she's already learning
I'm Southern. Yep.
She's already learning the Southernism.
Bless her
Precisely.
heart.
Bless her heart. She's
Well,
touched.
Well, honey, if it's bless its pointed little head, I'm really fond of it.
Listen, she's just touched.
It is affected. So yeah, bless his heart. Yeah.
Needless to say,
No, Gena didn't.
the hay was not in the barn that night.
Right. So anyway, went back
And
and
by hay, he means the penis, and by the barn, he means the vagina.
That's racist. She does not have a red vagina.
all right. Well, I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit, and if you'll let me, I'm gonna. So
Sorry.
went back, saw Blue, got the baby, took the baby out for a walk.
Can we get back to the vaginas?
Yeah, we're going to.
Okay, all right, good. Go ahead.
Took the baby out for a walk, and while we were out on our walk, JT was like, "That guy is totally checking you out."
Ooh.
Right? And I was like, I kept walking because I'm completely oblivious. And finally we get around the corner and he's like, "Hey, that really hot guy back there that kind of looked like Eric Northman is totally checking you out."
Who?
And at that point he had my attention. Oh, this character off of a ridiculous HBO show we watch. So anyway, turned around and sure enough, the guy had followed and he was in like this little, he was completely hipster, like. But again, I'd been drinking. It was my first drinking night. Don't roll your eyes at me, Greg Lentz.
I will roll my eyes at any hipster.
Well, here's how hipster. Now, here's how incredibly hipster. We're talking like Great Gatsby, khaki suit, from the era, like the 40s, shoes, hairpin back, the whole
Brown
nine.
pinstripe.
No pinstripes.
No?
Just solid cream suit.
No, so he's not first generation hipster. He's
So I
not
guess
the
we
real thing.
we still are talking about vaginas. It
No,
sounds
we're
like.
talking
No,
about my
please
new
continue.
pen pal. Yes.
That's why I put my mic down. I didn't want
Right.
to
We're talking about
curse.
my new pen pal.
You didn't want to assault.
So my new pen pal is dreamy and very much in the old era of classic gentlemen. So he's more Sinatra than Bieber.
I can assure you Sinatra never wore a khaki suit.
He didn't.
This was cream colored. Khaki
He
was
wore browns during the day because of the way the sunlight came off of it, and then he wore grays.
But this guy has a
charcoals, and
different
blacks at night.
complexion. This
Wow,
guy's a
all-
different complexion.
Who just went totally anti-male there? That
Yeah,
was
that
like
was-
totally chickish.
That
No,
wasn't
I don't
chickish.
know. That was kind of sexy.
There
Continue.
are rules for men.
Yeah, there
You
are.
never, if you know, there's 2 times you can wear a khaki suit as a
Mhm.
male. You can wear it to the Kentucky Derby, and you wear it to a wedding.
Okay, but this was like an outing with friends,
I'm
and the
wearing
rest of
tie-dye
them were
and gym
very
shorts.
Kentucky Derby.
Not everybody's libertarians, Chris.
Right.
All right. I'm
No,
with
you can wear
Right.
tie dye, or you can wear something to the Kentucky Derby. Yeah,
Yeah.
seersucker.
Seersucker? Yeah. Okay, seersucker.
So you're still texting this guy, I imagine.
I told you I never did. We
No.
never exchanged numbers.
Well, you guys had a quote unquote moment, and my bet was that That'll be something here in a few months.
Well, it might. I'll be down there. We'll see.
But she doesn't want to put...
Until then, it's just I might drop him a letter or two. Might not.
That's the most dangerous kind.
I know.
Long form's killer.
Yeah. Because then you get to know the person.
Oh, that's the worst part.
Like, see, text messaging and Facebook messaging and all that stuff, like, things get taken wrong, but writing a letter...
Yeah.
You can provide context.
Right.
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 Yeah.
Social media is a vanity play.
Mm-hmm.
It's fact.
That's right.
Tonight I was late because I had a hot date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to hear
Who
about
has
this.
a date before 5, by
Right.
the way? Sorry.
Yeah.
Not judging.
And
Yeah,
you
it's
know
okay.
that we record every Thursday night, right?
Right.
Like, you know we have a schedule, and yet I'm gonna be honest with you. You schedule something every Thursday night, so you show up late or you leave early. What are you doing with your life?
I didn't know that. Okay, first of all, we don't every Thursday night. Before I left, it was like Fridays, Saturdays occasionally, whenever.
They were the times you couldn't make it on Thursday night was the reason we didn't do it on
What are
those
you even
nights.
talking about? I don't even know what these words are.
All right, Madam Mao. Let's
All
have
right.
revisionist history.
So I didn't get the memo apparently until right before, and I had promised my kid that I would take him out to play frisbee.
How sad is that? You're exploiting
And
a child for profit.
My hot date was with my little man.
All right.
Oh,
okay.
tonight?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
Now I feel bad. I'm a
Douche.
dick.
No,
Jax.
I don't. I will not bow to a child.
You should. No, seriously. I'm mad at you because you should have brought Vinny tonight.
I should have, but I promised him that I would take it. Okay, I got in off of I got in at 2:30 in the morning. I go in, I give him a kiss. He's asleep. He's wet the bed. I can't say that. I'm sorry. When you're 20 and you hate me for saying that on
He's
air.
a kid.
I know.
Nobody
So,
judges.
he had an accident.
If Greg did it right now, we judge, but we
Okay.
won't judge Vinny.
So anyway,
Let's test that theory.
Shut up.
that was conversation
What is
number
this,
1. He was
Seinfeld?
completely asleep. Conversation number 2, he was getting on the bus, and hi, hey, Mommy, how was your weekend? Which was so funny to me because I left for the weekend and I was gone for a month. And he looks at me and he's like, hey, Mommy, how was your weekend? And it was like, it was awesome, buddy. How are you? Did you and Daddy treat each other good? And he was like, yeah, he's nice. And so that was
You didn't
conversation.
see your son for an entire month?
It wasn't quite a month. It was the 18th through the 6th-ish or 7th.
That's a long time.
I know. Well, he's
How
in
did you
school.
feel about that? That's something to
It was
explore.
rough. It was rough.
But he liked it, though.
Yeah, he had a fucking blast. He went to the Y, and so because I wasn't
You're
there.
anti-YMCA?
No, because I wasn't. Okay, when I'm there, I put him on the bus. I get him off the bus. When I'm not there,
after school.
he goes to and from the Y. So the Y was a new adventure. He was excited. He really enjoyed himself. I'm sure he's disappointed a little bit to not be going to the Y, as he's happy to have me back. Anyway, conversation number 3, he asked about a friend of mine, and he was like, when are we going to see this friend? I got thinking about it, and he hadn't seen him since, like, February. I don't think. I can't think of a time that they've hung out. So got a hold of my friend, and he was like, well, we'll be playing Frisbee. So I took Vinny to see him.
Cool.
So that's where I was this evening.
Yeah. In fairness to Gena, I bust her balls tonight, but I texted her at like 3:30, and I was like, hey, podcast tonight. Because, like, to me, if I text Gena, like, yesterday or the day before, and I say, podcast, she's going to forget anyways. Like, I always just need to kind of
Give me at least a day or two heads up.
Yeah, I know. And then I got to hit you up and
'Cause I
just
had
say,
made the
hey.
plans.
Yeah. But, no, we love anytime you can make it. And, like, seriously, story time with Gena, like, in the beginning, I was like, oh, really? We're going to do another podcast after I do a podcast? I'm an old man. I have to go to bed.
Aw.
And, like, when we don't do story time with Gena, like, I miss it. But then when we do story time with Gena, I'm like, oh, that was the most fun ever. I
It
miss
was the most
like,
fun ever.
I know. It's so much fun, like, to do it because then you get to say, vagina and, all kinds of fun things.
Oh my God, Vinny got bit by a dog tonight at the
Oh,
park.
no.
Yeah, and the little fucker literally left a puncture wound in my son's ass.
Like, what kind of dog?
A dog smaller than your fucking cat.
Oh, okay.
It was this angry little.
Chihuahua thing.
No, it was a terrier of some sort.
Okay.
And it was old. And it flipped out of nowhere. My kid was like standing 6 feet away. It flipped out, jumped at him, grabbed his shirt, grabbed his ass, left a puncture wound in his butt, had him screaming like you would not believe.
Oh, I bet.
And he was like, that dog's an asshole! That dog's a fucking asshole! And I was mildly embarrassed and laughing and trying to calm him down because he was just fucking screaming bloody murder. Like, I'm surprised people didn't hear him all the way down the street.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but that is funny.
I know, and I've tried not to laugh because here's my kid with a puncture wound in his ass, taking it like a fucking champ. But it's the funniest shit I've ever seen.
I know Vinny, and like Vinny gets very serious, and when he gets on his soapbox. And
he's opinionated. Shocking.
When there is an injustice in the world, he takes it very seriously.
And at this moment, there had been an injustice in his ass,
and he was screaming, "You fucking asshole!"
To the doctor.
The dog. Okay, so my kid was bit by a dog.
The dog violated
today.
your son's ass, and that's the weird part that he got mouthy about.
No, it's not the weird part. It was the funny part. So tonight, when we were at the park, this dog flipped out and attacked my kid. And it grabbed his ass, and it left a hole. I'm not kidding. There's a hole that size in my son's left butt cheek. Of the puncture wound from this little fucking bullshit terrier dog. And it ripped his pants. It ripped his shirt. It was ripping his pants off. He finally got away from it. It was on a leash, but the owner was playing with Dante. So she was kind of torn between flipping out with the baby and flipping out on the dog. And so I felt for her. I really did, because as the mom in the middle of the two, do I grab my baby from the owner of the crazy fucking rabid terrier dog, or do I grab my son from, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a snap judgment. So I'm not
Sophie's choice.
Yeah, and I'm not in the least bit upset with her. Like, we didn't even exchange information. It's not like I'm looking to sue her, even though my kid has a puncture wound in his ass.
Take him to the hospital, by the way. But anyway, so
tetanus shot,
and all that. Dogs, they eat poop. So after he is bitten in the behind, he starts.
He's screaming. The dog still got a hold of him, right, by the shirt. So I can see that it doesn't have him. It's got the shirt. He's screaming like you would not believe. Like, I'm sorry, take off the headphones, Spangle Bear, and if you're driving, you might want to turn it down, or whatever you do with your phone or your device. You have 2 seconds. And he's just at the top of his lungs screaming around the park, and it's not stopping. And he's like, just profanities, just the slur of profanities coming out. And finally I get him stopped, and I was like, I get it, but you got to calm down. I got to look at your butt. I got to see what's happening. I got to see what we're doing here. I need you to chill out for a minute. And he's like, it's a fucking asshole, Mom. The dog's a fucking asshole.
Where'd he learn those words?
Right? I let him cuss. We've had that discussion.
The King's speech?
Yeah. So
the King's speech.
So I'm like, I know, buddy, I know, but you need to calm. You got to calm the fuck down. You got to count to 3 and fill up your balloon. We got to breathe. And he's like, fucking asshole. He's killing me. I'm dying.
Well, he is right. The dog was a fucking asshole.
I know. And how do you not laugh at that moment? Because the kid is just obviously tore
you
up.
You laughed at your son.
I could
not.
He's like, it was awful.
He's this cute little 5-year-old, and he
almost 7.
Almost 7. Oh, my bad.
He's a big boy.
But still, he's a kid, and he just is like, he's adorable because he's so serious about the world already.
Oh yes.
But like, this great injustice has been done to his ass, and I just can picture him going,
fucking
that dog's a fucking asshole.
Yes, exactly.
Allow me to provide some context. This 7-year-old who hasn't seen his mom in give or take 18 days gets bitten in the butt by a rabid dog at a dog park his mom took him to. He has a gash hanging dog from his shirt while his mom laughs. Please explain to me how that's
the dog was detached when I was laughing.
While a stranger was holding her other child.
Right, the owner of said rabid
who
dog.
is missing.
Right.
The irony just struck me while I was trying to paint the picture.
The honest truth is that the kid handled it well. I think I handled it pretty well, all things considered, and it was just really funny.
He lives to fight another day.
I can just imagine, if you want to judge parenting, have kids of your own. I don't have kids, but I could just imagine, like, I watch enough sitcoms to know that parenting is not easy, Greg. Okay?
I'm telling you, the last time that we recorded when I was down in New Orleans, I had to Dante was trying. He was cruising for that side door, man. You want to talk about giving somebody a heart attack. So we had a side door.
You almost threw your kid out of a running car?
No. God damn.
No, at the house. Like, the kid was crawling towards the door.
Gotcha.
So we're in the house. My buddy was watching the baby, and then he had somebody show up at the front door. The side door stays latched, but for some reason it had been left unlatched, which never, ever happens. And I was in the bathroom to get quiet so that I wasn't disturbed, and I had the eye... I had the eye device,
Shut the
and we
window
were
Sorry, Mike. We have no screens on our window, and the cat.
Just like that, 99% of the time, the window's closed.
We had an accurate representation at that very moment. We have no air conditioning, and so I had the windows open, and we've got no screens on the apartment window, and Mittens was bolting out the window. Luckily, she didn't go anywhere.
Long story short, his pussy needed air. Please continue.
Okay, so apparently my baby decided that he was going to check out that side door, and when he got there, it was unlatched. So he hit it with his hand and looked down, and I just had this sick feeling in my gut, and so I was Skyping with Spangle, and I was like, hold on a second, turned around the corner, and there he was, smacking at this door. Now, when I say side door, I mean, have you seen the homes in New Orleans? They're like basically up on cinder blocks a good 5 feet.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, there's no porch off this side door.
Uh-oh.
It goes from 5 feet
I believe
to
you
concrete.
said stoop earlier, but
Well,
please
the
continue.
stoop's in the front porch.
Oh, the side stoop.
There's no stoop, though. It is drop. It is like door, nothing. Like it's the door to nowhere. The only thing that door is useful for is Blue comes up there and we smoke.
Right.
Which happens several minutes later.
Ventilation, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. My legs can dangle out. So if he had, he'd have made it, but he'd have been scraped. Like he'd have bounced. We'd have had to stop recording. I'd have been at the hospital for a while.
And then you picked him up, and he looked at you and said, "Fucking asshole."
No, nothing like that. He looked at me and giggled. I got there and I was like, "Whoa, whoa!" and picked him up. And you can go back and hear it. We recorded the whole thing. I was
Are
like,
you sure
"Holy
he
shit."
wasn't trying to escape?
Right. It might have been a suicide attempt.
I
He
think
might
I
have
made
just-
that point. I was like, so your baby's trying to run away from you."
Yeah, it might.
And I don't know why. I mean, you only took him to a violent dog park where he got a chunk of his ass.
Oh my
bit.
God,
There's
these
a
are
different
different
kid.
stories.
Oh, this is better. The other kid tried to kill himself.
I hate
Way
you both.
better.
Why do I
Two
hang
for
out with
two.
you?
I'm just saying.
Gina, I only do it out of love.
I feel like
totally kidding.
Dante.
I know.
I feel like Dante is going to break the family tradition, and he'll hate cursing.
You know what? I think Dante actually will. I think Dante has a tremendous potential to do great things, but something about his fearlessness gives me misgivings about how long I'll have my baby with me.
Right.
I should have felt like that boy's middle name should have been Knievel. I mean, no joke.
I was having a conversation with Ryan and Joe at one point, and I was like, and Lynn Swayze. I was like, I don't understand why you breeders have such problems with your kids. And they're like, it is like having a little adult on suicide watch 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I was like, oh,
True.
wow, okay.
Fact.
That sucks.
He's completely fearless, though. This one will look at it like a gigantic fucking bulldog and just grab him by the lips. Like, he's that
Big
guy.
bull dyke.
Bulldog.
totally said bull.
He will
dyke.
look at that bull dyke and I will
hate
flip
you
you no
guys.
matter what the cost.
Bulldog.
You will. Never mind. He's a baby.
Yes.
He's cute, though.
He is, but no, we'll see. There's a fearlessness about him, and I have enough, his uncles, his friends, his relatives, the people, the village around him, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
is not entirely made of idiots. but
Misfit toys.
yes, but these misfit toys will give him enough rope to hang himself and his brother, I'm afraid. And I have a feeling that the rest of my life is going to be an adventure.
Does
But
Uncle...
if my baby makes it to 26,
Let's be honest.
let's
Your life was
celebrate.
going to be an adventure regardless
Yeah,
of
shit
his
I can
destination.
do. I mean, to be honest with you, how many of us can say that we dodged bullets before we were a week old?
Yeah. If Uncle Chris needs to sit down and explain the non-aggression principle to the boys,
Yeah,
I'm
but
happy to do it.
I want my boys to be able to drink liquor, though, Spangle.
That's not non-aggression.
Non-aggression.
I know.
Except
I know.
against your liver.
I don't think my boys will be aggressive.
I'm not gonna
I think they'll just be crazy.
They'll be incensed advocates, I imagine, much like their mother.
Mhm.
Okay, I expect Dante to be a very sensitive
Yeah.
artist type with just no goddamn fear. Like, Dante could be the type of young man that I will find in Paris who has done so much acid that he's decided to drill a hole in his head to give it, like, direct leeway. Like, that's how I'll find Dante with fucking Ziggy Stardust somewhere tripping the light fantastic. That's my
That is
concern.
graphic imagery.
I know.
A lot
But
of
it's
women, a lot of
probably
moms.
true.
Oh, my son will be president of the United States. Not Gena. He'll be a decrepit artist with a hole in his head
I have
and
dreams.
multiple tongue rings.
I have dreams for my son. He will be a meth head.
Their dreams and nightmares, their fears and hopes.
I know.
I want my baby to be happy, but I know that he will stop at nothing because he's fearless. And I know that he will be led in directions that he may or may not give a fuck what I have to say about. And
Chop
so-
off his ear for a woman, fearless.
Yes. He will be my little Vincent. Like, Vinny is my Vincent, named after Van Gogh. Dante will be the one that shows me why.
No, he'll give you the pat to hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
through.
All right, well, we're at an hour, so
We should wrap this shit up.
I
What
think
the
we
fuck
should
are
end
we
on a
doing?
happy note, though. Jesus.
I know that's gonna
Gena
happen.
is back. She's alive.
Yeah, that is a happy
So
note.
far, everything's averted.
Yes,
She looks
is-
great.
Yeah, she could not be better.
She
I
had
mean,
a hot date.
I did.
with her son.
Yeah, but that's a hot date.
Sure
Yeah,
was.
Why not?
Hey,
Fuck
it's
it.
better than the usual
I got to see
suspects.
some
Like,
booty. Of course, I was inspecting it for puncture wounds.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than the alternative with Captain Humpty Dance down there.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
It's
You did
true.
crisis averted,
Yeah.
but you
Captain
did mess the
Humpty.
best face
I did.
/ head.
The best FaceTime I could have ever had it.
Yeah, apparently he's like a bucking bronco. You just put in a quarter and you just go at it.
He
I
did the-
would, if there are any bucking broncos out there, I have at least $1 in quarters. As long as you can keep your mouth shut long enough.
How is
Well,
one-
isn't that the opposite of what you want
Yeah.
done?
I don't know.
Don't you want the
man.
alphabet
You're really not
spelled?
good at this, are you?
No, I don't know how it works. Somebody should form a council to educate me on
Yeah.
the ways of sex.
Apparently, she does not want the alphabet spelled on her.
This
button.
seriously is the biggest group of virgins of all time.
You guys can be the biggest group of virgins you want to be. I got my mad, wild, crazy, obnoxious, adventurous shit out of the way before I hit junior high, so fuck off. Like, you guys keep making reference to this threesome that happened when I was 8, and bitches, I said multiple.
You
I
said
didn't say
9.
threesome.
I did
Nine.
not make a reference to anything because I don't want to be arrested for child porn.
Well, Spangle does all the time. He'll give me shit. He'll text me and he'll be like, well, you did say that you had a threesome at 8.
Because you did.
No, I did not. I said I had more. I said I had multiple.
And I took that to mean at
3.
least
You stopped at 3.
3 or...
And we can agree on at least 3, but I never said 3.
Well, it just gets sadder after 3.
It's not sad.
I mean, it gets depressing if we
I'll
start
tell you
talking
right
about
now,
more
I'm
than
raising my kids in what is it called? Edgeville, Indiana.
Yeah.
3. You're not going to raise them in Beech Grove?
No, I don't want them to get raped by bull dykes.
Oh my God!
Change
Where
out
did this
transmissions
go?
at Allison's.
Welcome to Storytime with Gena. Where suddenly we hate bull dykes, or we?
No, I
hate
love
them.
them.
All right.
Some of my best
We're just
friends
concerned
are...
that they're going to rape our children.
Some of my best friends are bull dykes.
Who rape my children? Exceptional.
Please
So
name your best friends in order.
no, the point.
No.
While we're on the subject, the point of that was I outgrew that shit. Like, I understand that it's exciting and new and adventurous for a lot of folks, but you know that was
You're like...
Are you saying this was your
30.
last hurrah?
no, fuck no. I'm like 30. I got
Yeah.
time.
But you outgrew what specifically?
I'm just saying, like, the adventure, the for a lot of guys, and correct me if I'm wrong, but guys that I've encountered personally,
You're asking the wrong group of guys if
I
you're asking
know,
sex
but
questions.
the fantasy of the threesome is like the holy grail. That
Oh
I
no!
that
I mean, yeah, I'm not
That sounds like
guy.
a lot of work.
Okay.
I mean,
No, I'm very much a one-woman guy, so I couldn't do it.
I'm not even a one-woman guy. I'll just take a hand.
Oh wow. Well, give Chris a hand, everybody. I can't say shit. I enjoy my shower.
Well,
Golden or cleanly?
Cleanly, yeah. We're
do you
gonna
like
keep
a clean shower?
It's the
Like a
only
clean
thing
shower?
tidy. Things get messy, but
Enough about your nude swimming.
that's facts. I went nude swimming, kids. It was fun. You should go skinny
I'm
dipping.
a bit offended. You went to a place called the Country Club where nude swimming was allowed
Yeah.
on a rooftop. I imagine.
Nope.
No.
No.
Did you have a mint julep?
I had a mimosa or 3.
All right, well that's
Did
perfectly
Ma
acceptable.
Bell serve them to you?
No, actually, a cute little bartender did. And there was this little boy named Franklin who collects the towels. So we're pretty
course.
close.
Sure he did. Did he offer shoe shines for 25 cents a
No,
pop?
no,
Gina?
he has a cute little kid.
He was just working
we
there for...
swapped baby pictures while I was naked sitting on a fucking lawn chair.
Oh, so the
while he-
kid shined the shoes. Way to oppress people.
No, he had a cell phone. This is my little girl.
That's more
Obama phones are free. That ain't shit.
It's more like Caddyshack. Ted Knight came out and like,
Right,
Danny,
because
Danny, how would you like to mow my lawn?
I would totally be with a guy with an Obama phone if he had the right personality. If he was the right guy.
That is so not true.
That's a fact.
No
do you
way.
Okay, whom have I ever seen, dated, married, spent time with, whatever, because of their money or financial
You married
status?
one guy once.
Uh-huh.
You are still married to him.
How much money does he have, or
does
did he have?
in fact,
Enough.
provide?
He provides a roof, and he
Right.
provides food.
Okay.
No, Gena.
But
Gena,
other than beyond
What's
that,
his career, by the way? I was wondering.
he works install. He's a blue collar installation
but
technician.
like for air conditioning,
It's a
cable.
very succinct field, so I won't go into it. But it involves accessories for like police cars.
Gotcha.
So like the light bars and the the radios.
No, Gena is a lot of things.
Right.
Like a face rider. But she's
Gena
not
will
a
ride
gold
a mustache.
but not a gold digger.
Greg, to be 100% honest, there are things about guys with money that turn me off 99% of the time. I may or may not have a friend or two who has a bank account worth speaking about, but we don't speak of it ever.
See, I don't know anybody rich. Even the rich people I know are poor.
Right.
It's not cool.
That is not true.
No.
A certain personality and
Like, I might reverse discriminate people with money. Like, that might be a problem that I have.
no way, because you're attracted to older men. Remember that whole.
It has nothing to do with money. I am attracted
How
to
can
older
you know
men.
it's subconscious? You may not know.
Because the older men that I'm attracted to don't have money.
They have drugs.
which
No.
are exchangeable on certain.
To be honest with you, I think I'm a
blacklisted websites.
sapiosexual. Is that a word? Sapiosexual? Do you guys familiar with this?
Sapiosexual?
It sounds like paleo-conservative. Please continue.
It has to do with intelligence.
Uh-huh.
So I think that, for me, the most attractive thing about a guy is his mind. I am to the point now where I am hard up and lonely, depressed, and whatever enough. Depressed is over because I took a month-long vacation. Fuck you guys. I'll just take a vacation for a month and get happy.
Sabbatical.
Yeah, I took my sabbatical. But if a guy's mind isn't attractive, I don't give a fuck what he looks like. I don't give a fuck what he drives. I could care less if he has a dime. Some of my greatest dates have been free or goddamn near it.
I took a girl on a date to Walmart once.
Ooh.
I bet that ended well.
I've had
was
fun
not a
adventures
second
in
date.
Walmart.
Yep.
I can't say that they were dates.
Well, yeah.
I haven't gone
All
to
you gotta do
Walmart.
is people watch and sit in lawn chairs.
Yeah, exactly. Big Mama at the gun rack. Have we talked about
yeah.
her? 3 a.m. She had a nice little, lovely little beard growing.
Silently plotting a revolution.
No, to be honest with you, Big Mama saved a catastrophe. There was a man down in Columbus 15 years ago who went and bought 20,000 rounds of ammunition, and she alerted the BCSC that he was intending to hit the schools because he was dumb enough to fucking say so. Big Mama's a hero. But
Big Mama is often a hero.
Yeah.
We don't praise bull dykes enough in our world.
Yeah, that might be honest. That might be true.
True.
It just came to me. Edgewood.
Edgewood. All right.
What is this Edgewood you speak of?
It's a mythical place.
It's a lovely
where fake
place.
Hispanics grow into their own.
I'm so white. I'm going to tell you guys my maiden name. My maiden name's Hancock.
I know.
That's
As in
like...
Herbie Hancock.
Okay,
Hey!
okay, Herbie.
See, that's a callback, right? That's a joke.
What?
That's a joke. That's a callback to a previous joke that we've made about
Herbie
hand
Hancock.
jobs.
Oh, hand jobs?
Hancock.
Yeah.
No, that's your real name.
Yeah, Hancock's
It's
my-
not often I'm on a podcast where I'm the second least perverted person on the show.
It's true.
That's not often. It's a treat.
I've heard
I
about
feel
sex.
so lucky. I've heard about sex. I've done
It's like
sex.
a unicorn.
Aw.
I've watched videos. I'm smart.
No, it's weird for me because
How much of that beer have you drank? By the
I
way,
have had, this is 8.
go eight fallen soldiers.
We've been
I'm
here
so
for
proud.
like, what, 4 hours?
3 hour, yeah.
It's 2 beers an hour.
Yeah,
well,
that's not bad.
some of us have been here for 4 hours.
I've been
Sorry,
here for 4 hours.
fine. I had to see some friends. But yeah, no, sexually adventurous, but currently
Frigid.
I've been accused of being frigid. It's really starting to piss me off. I won't lie. When we got back to Blues and that text message came in about how your friend missed the best face she ever rode, they both started cracking jokes about me being frigid, and I was about to murder their goddamn faces. If there hadn't been enough weed to calm me down, I probably would have. And it's perfect that it did, because I went out and met Mr. McDreamy Pants.
There's a lot of things happening to faces
You met
around
Jay
here.
Gatsby,
Yeah,
Right.
Jay Gatsby.
but he was quite the dandy. Did he have a big yellow car?
He had a big yellow something.
All right, that's enough of this.
All right.
You can't get better than that.
You can't. I mean, you can try, but if you find better, let me know.
All right.
So...
Ooh, wee.
Ooh, wait. Craig, what do you want to offer? Do you want to schlep anything? Anything you want to talk about?
Not really. I appreciate you allowing me on.
You're always allowed on, Greg. Bangle Bear.
I've said too much.
I can tell that you are speechless. I love it when I end on a speechless note.
Too many
You've
things.
said too much.
Things have been
you've
said.
said too much.
Too many things
For
have been
fuck's
said.
sake, Spangle Bear has said too much. He's
I have.
revealed too much.
He got a bit pervy.
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
could see the way my fingers are wiggling, you'd understand that.
That is a very pervy way to wiggle
Yeah.
your fingers.
Oh, It rubs the lotion on its skin.
Oh, bless her. Here's what we'll end it on. Different strokes for different folks. And you have my permission to find the Different Strokes theme song and splice it in here at the end. We love you guys. Thanks for sticking around and putting up with us this long. I guess we're over a fucking hour now.
Oh, well.
I guess that means we're professionals.
We have no rules.
There are no rules.
That's right.
Fuck the rules. Just play with the stick.
We say things that will cause their audience to lose respect for them. Oh, well.
Oh, well.
Hold on.
that.
Will you be back next week?
I have intentions to.
No commitment.
And
Will you be on We Are Libertarians next week?
I
is
will
what I'm
try.
asking.
Absolutely.
I'm going to need more than that, Creighton.
Okay, I will be here. Tell me when and give me a heads up notice.
Okay.
Since we record 7:30 Thursday nights
Every
Thursday
single
night,
week.
All right, fine.
unless Gena can't make it.
I can't schedule things. Like, I
Seriously, Gena one week said, I have to leave at 8, though. Thursday night is my party night. I'm like, make Thursday night your podcast night since Thursday night has been your podcast night for the last 3 months. And you're like...
Thirsty Thursdays. I cannot help you. This is not my
You know
fault.
what? I'm just going to find out where she's going and start showing up at the bars.
Oh, fucking do. Oh, my
Oh, I
God.
will.
It's called Greg's. I've already told you.
Oh, that's right.
It's your place.
It is my place.
It's called Our Place.
I
Greg's.
imagine I would not be welcomed.
You would be so
would.
welcome. They
Oh,
would
yeah.
fucking hang off you. I'd have to rescue you.
By they, are
you
you
would be my
talking
new
about
favorite.
a different...
People,
The royal they. We've discussed that.
The royal they.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
You'll become a council member for the Noble Society.
See? I just
Or
can't
perhaps
commit
the
to something. You know
Pain
what? I
Tribe.
get your fear of commitment because that's not something I can commit to.
find you, you'll have puncture wounds in your ass.
Apparently, I already have
Gina's taking me to the dog park next Thursday. Awesome.
Apparently,
Mom of
I
the
already have
year.
the wardrobe for it and had no idea. Oh, we love you guys.
I
Thanks for-
guarantee that if you go to Greg's, someone will look at you in the eye and lick a nipple.
Oh my God, it'll be me. I'll
I'm
do
going to
it.
pass.
I'll do it.
It'll be a nice, cute otter.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I'll get you a boyfriend. Shoot. We love you. Thanks for sticking with us. If you're one of the, did you just lie and tell the people we have 100 listeners?
We do. We literally
There
do.
are 100 subscribers.
What? I thought you told me there were 46.
There are nearly 100 subscribers
well,
to the show.
awesome.
You went on a month-long sabbatical.
And you
Okay.
gained people listening
Your
to
show's
this.
like bacteria. It multiplies rapidly.
My show's
It's
like
like a little
bacteria
petri
in many
dish of
ways.
disgusting.
Yeah.
People
Not
are
unlike that ball pit you danced in without shoes on where you got peed on.
It was foam, goddammit.
People are like, you gotta listen to this. Figure her out.
Oh, figure me out. I'm telling you. Like I'm writing the
Oh, I've
goddamn
got it.
roadmap. Yeah.
I think I have it.
I mean, there is no enigma left. I just,
Uh-uh.
you guys are like, she pissed in the bushes. She's been in the foam parties.
I get it.
She's running around naked.
Mark my words, she will never have a female best friend.
See, Greg knows me very well. I have lady friends, but the best friends are always guys.
We connected when she breastfed her child in front of me at the Libertarian Indiana convention, and I had only met her and she was drinking wine while her kid was nourishing itself.
In Paris, they call it lunch. Don't judge me.
Please speak into her good titty.
Twat! I can't hear you. Please speak into my good titty. Love you guys. Peace out.